So in some cases, a geometric shape would be very applicable and making sense. But in some cases, you would rather have some touchable, friendly, smooth and organic shape. So what you could do in that case is try to develop a shape starting from a very intuitive kind of blob shape. These are some examples of something that is, I'll try rather intuitively created. I even close my eyes sometimes to be able to sketch something that is interesting, like this. And you could use all of these just to make something that has volume. There are several steps how to create or to add volume to these kind of sketches. And the first step is actually to add cross sections to it and overlap lines. So if you look at this one, this is something you could, well, imagine to be a figure or some kind of face. But I'm going to create something that has an overlap in this way, in that sense that it's going to be something truly different. Applying these kind of cross sections to it immediately is creating something totally different from it. And a cross section in this directions adds to that, and there's a cross sections just right in the middle. Helping me actually to create something, well, which has volume here. If I would do that, then I'm also trying to make an object of it, adding features. Just for the sake of clarity, I'm going to add some imaginative cast shadow to it. I'm going to do that with this one as well. And let's imagine the case of a fall protection device. So something that you have to hook up or attach to your leg, to your body, which is also requiring some well, organic kind of shape. So this is, let's say, that shape. So the cross sections and the overlap are two steps. Later stage, I'm going to add the line thickness to make it even clearer. But I'm going to clarify now with the help of pastel, which is going to help me to add some chiaroscuro, which is the Italian name for it, so light dark depth actually. Here's some cast shadow to it. It doesn't have to be perfectly correct. The cast shadow I'm going to draw instantly. The reason to draw a cast shadow is not because it's fun. It is, but it's not because of that. It's because you're positioning the object somewhere. So in this case, with this cast shadow, I'm telling that it's sort of floating, but it's also touching the ground there. Same for this one. With this cast shadow, I'm telling that the object is in an upright position. And as you can see, I'm trying to do this with a kind of speed, so don't take ages over these kind of shapes, because actually you want to do this rather quickly. So I'm going to add some shading here, which is doable with all kind of pastel colors. And actually the one in gray is maybe the best. And I'm going to do that with the help of a knife. So what I'm trying to apply here is to make a difference between where the light comes and where it doesn't, or less. And in many cases you could solve that by thinking about a main light source coming from the left in this case, and the secondary light source coming from the right in this case. So in the end, you'd really like to have some gradients here. So the minute you start thinking that it's going to be a bit too much, just blow it away. And the gradient is to be created with the help of an empty napkin. Like this, or even with an eraser if you start applying too much. And maybe the coarse shadow might even should even be emphasized in some cases. So line thickness I'm going to do later, because first let's do this one with a different color. So let's take the blue one. Same recipe. Try to depict, show where coarse shadow would be. There are sort of similar shapes here. And considering the light direction, it's always an interesting thing to look at what would catch light and what wouldn't. So emphasizing is not only done by this pastel, but also by erasing. And after that, I'm going to add those features to this object as well. And in the end, the line thickness will finish the job. And this is a really fast exercise, hopefully to get you going and daring to draw these kind of strange shapes. As you can see, what's happening here is it is organic, it is strange and different. However, to say something about it, or to actually apply some sense to make sure that it's understandable, those cross-section lines actually are very important. So let's apply some unity to this first leg here. Product features, so there's going to be a connection here. There's going to be some audio feature in this area. Some more plug options here, USB, etc, etc. Maybe some extra button here on the top to switch it on or off. Right. This, mostly the black on the right side, is a sensible thing to do like this. And for the other one, Let's say that they all have a cable coming from somewhere. This one too, where does it come from?